Yeah, I mean, you adapt and you grow as a player, and um, I still care about my point totals and our team point total. I'm still competitive in that nature, but I know there's games when I'm not going to produce, and I can find other ways to help this team win. And I probably am not as hard on myself in those types of moments. For example, hitting the post last night would bug me 3-4 years ago, but at the end of the day, I did my best I could on that play, 2-on-1, and you put it in the rearview mirror. I think I'm much quicker to hit the reset button nowadays.
Thanks.
Next up is Alex Faust.
Yeah, I'm curious, Brownie, as a follow-up to that, was there something that caused that change in your mindset, I guess, a couple of years ago, to where stuff just rolled off your shoulders like that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, as I got older, I probably understand what makes me a good player, and a little bit more. I think every player kind of goes through this progression as they get older. They figure out what works better for them, and I worked at it, just trying to figure out what I needed to do to be a better player. And sometimes it's not always. In this game's a big part of it's mental and how you approach it in your own head and between your ears. So I went through some tough times, a few tough years, where a lot of people doubted me, and probably I doubted myself a little bit, but I looked at it as a challenge, and you just kind of plug away now. And now I'm on the backside of my career. Now I'm just trying to enjoy the game and have fun playing the game, because I know it's not going to last forever.
To that end, I remember in training camp, you mentioned that this off season was the longest you'd gone without skates on your feet. The mental reset, not to look too far into the future here, but do you feel like that was valuable and maybe something that you would do in the future to have a longer break off in between seasons?
Probably not. I mean, this one was a unique situation. I think it probably helped me, but it also took me a little bit longer, maybe due to the lack of preseason games. I'm not sure what. This season's obviously been a very strange year from a schedule standpoint. So I didn't feel great early in the season. But again, I gave myself a break in the sense that we hadn't played a competitive game in 10 months. So the skating in the off season, I skated probably more in the off season this year, just because of the amount of time that we had to get going. It's just that initial break was probably good for my body and good for my mind. Just how it worked out with everything going on in the world. I told myself early on that I was gonna get my body right, and then gradually get back on the ice, and probably helped me.
Next up is Zach Dooley.
Hey, Dustin, if you look at your goal last night, with where you were on that play, was that just kind of an example of maybe a bit of an unspoken connection you and Kopitar have, where you kind of know where to be, know who's going to get you the puck, and it created a nice scoring chance for you?
Yeah, I mean, me and Kobe kind of have that connection for whatever reason. We played together from the very get-go, and we've kind of hit it off from day one. I mean, Kobe scored 2 goals in his first game, and it's one of those things we've always always had that connection. That was a great pass by him last night, but a lot of what makes me and him work is I know where to go, and some coaches always wanted me to get closer to Kobe, and me and Kobe both know when he has full control, he wants me to find space for him away from him. So
you look at how the team played as a whole last night, with how well you guys maybe played defensively outside of that small window in the second period. Is that a good example of something consistent that you guys can do to win hockey games?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably our best first period of the year, probably, and I think first periods are a big part of being good in the NHL. If you can get off to a good start, just puts the other team on their heels, and we've been put in that situation a few times, and it's hard to kind of get back into the game. We followed up with a stretch of 10 minutes of really poor play, which allowed them back in, but that's something we can correct and get better at as well. So I thought we played a solid first period and a solid third period.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Next up is John Hoven.
Brownie, I joined the call late, so I apologize if this was already asked, but have to just wonder, any updates on your son? Does he has he come around on thinking that you're a pretty decent hockey player at this point?
I haven't talked to him today, but I don't know. My wife sent me some pretty funny tweets, so stuff I can't really repeat. I think it's turned into a little funny story, a little inside joke between all of us at home, and I enjoy it.
Well, Nicole monitoring Twitter at home, checking the receipts. No surprise there. What about Carl Grundstrom? He's talked about the fact that he's leaning on you to be somebody that he's looking to sort of model his game after or take tips from. And there's a little bit of Dustin Brown in Grundstrom, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I've always liked, from the day he got here, I've always liked him. He's got a new nickname, Sergey, for his number. But the thing I love about that kid, he just comes in. Like today in practice, we have a 25-minute practice, and he tries to score on every single shot. Like, he gets mad at himself in practice, and I think that's only going to help him develop as a player, because he just wants to get better every day. And I try to help him with tips and little things that he can do better. And but he has a really nice skill set to play in this league for a long time.